evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Paul Farrell. I'm the chairman of CSF. I'd like to welcome everybody to our free golf dinner. As you know, we switched things up a little bit this year. Rather than cocktails tonight, we're going to have cocktails with our award ceremony tomorrow. But I'm glad everyone made it, and I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. Believe it or not, this is our 7th annual Bobby Jones Classic, the CSF tournament. Once again, thanks for joining us. We couldn't do this without you, and I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow.
So I too want to extend my thanks to everyone supporting this event. We certainly couldn't do the things that we're doing, and I hope you take some time tonight to just look at the slides going by. I know some of them are a little long, but they'll go by a few times so you can read them. And tonight, what we want to do is the Bobby Jones Classic and CSF and Eastlake and so many communities have become family and friends. So it's been 7 years. And community is a really important thing to the Carrie and Swing Whaley Foundation. So tonight the thought was that what we'd like to do is fund a community need. Golf is a sport that can be enjoyed in childhood and enhance your life all the way through. Many times disabled children or adults who are disabled are not allowed or afforded this opportunity only because they don't have an accessible cart. So the thought was, why don't we tonight try and share with the Eastlake community, the Charlie Yates Golf Course, the gift of a cart that will enable children and adults to enjoy this wonderful sport that we're all here to enjoy tomorrow. The cost of a cart is not cheap, and Paul can speak to that, but today we came up with the number that it's going to cost us $30,000 to fund a handicapped golf cart to be housed there. So I know everybody here has already donated by participating and supported the event. But what we're asking everyone to do is to give this gift to help a community to have a richer, fuller quality life. So if you will take out your pledge cards, and whether your gift is small, medium, or large, fill in something so that we all do it as a community. And to kick off this great campaign, Sid Matthew has started it off with a $1,000 pledge and check. We have the Harrisons. Charlie, 500, correct? Charlie Harrison is in for 500. And who was the other? There's one other person who's donating? No? No? So what we'd like you to do is fill in an amount. We're going to have the girls come around, collect the pledge cards. We'll tally them up so we'll see how we're doing before the end of the night. And the little stubs that came off of your pledge cards are going into a bag, and you get a bottle of Crown Royal if you're the winner. So thank you so much for supporting CSF and enhancing the Eastlake community. And now what I'd like to do is turn it back to Paul to tell you a little bit about what your money actually does. Yeah, take your time, take your time. Good?
Yes, thank you. Before I get started on that, I'd just like to acknowledge some of the members of our board of directors who are here tonight. Kim Dawson, Marina White, Bob Nikowitz, and James Raines. I'd also like to welcome members of the Jones family, in particular Bob Jones IV, who's been a member of our Board of Trustees since our inception 10 years ago. Finally, I'd like to thank our Executive Director, Dorothy Poppy, and our staff, including Caitlin Esposito and Mary Poppy, for the extraordinary work they do for CSF. As I mentioned, as an organization, CSF recently celebrated our 10-year anniversary. And I'd like to inform you tonight as to what we do with the money that we raise from events such as the Bobby Jones Classic for CSF. All that we do is only possible with your support. For that, we thank you very, very much. Initially, I'm very pleased to inform you that 2017 was the first year that our fundraising efforts raised over $1 million. Wow. That being said, the money we raise each year primarily goes towards education of patients and physicians, research, and raising awareness of the devastating effects of Chiari malformation, syringomyelia, and related disorders. Now, some of the highlights from our first 10 years. We have invested over $3 million directly into research and educational programs. CSF continues to host free educational lectures for patients and doctors. To date, we have hosted over 350 lectures, 72 in 2017 alone, at over 110 U.S. and international venues. Each lecture is recorded and uploaded to our website. Our videos have been accessed by 2.1 million people in almost 100 countries around the world, which is phenomenal. In April of 2018 alone, 92,181 minutes of our videos were watched online. In addition, we are presently developing a new website to better serve our donors, doctors, and patients, which will be online hopefully by this summer of 2018. In our first 10 years, CSF has evolved into the driving force behind research involving Chiari malformation, syringomyelia, and related disorders. We've been the driving force for medical knowledge, medical change, collaboration with related organizations, surgical treatments. Sorry, it's a little tough doing this with, I don't have enough hands. As well as standardizing research language for researchers studying Chiari malformation and syringomyelia. In driving medical knowledge, in 2019 we will host the CSF Hydrodynamic Symposium in Oslo, Norway, which will feature speakers from around the world, including engineers, physicists, mathematicians, neuroradiologists, and neurosurgeons. The focus is on improvements in the techniques which measure and understand the dynamics of cerebrospinal fluid flow in the brain and within the central nervous system. In driving medical change, in 2019, CSF will initiate a consensus meeting with the American Board of Neurological Surgeons, the National Academy of Medicine, the National Institutes of Health, international experts, and patient organizations to better define Chiari malformation and to reclassify the subgroups for better surgical and treatment outcomes. In driving research through collaboration, CSF is working with the Ehlers-Danlos Society, Dysautonomia International, the Mastocytosis Society, and the Pain Management Foundation to answer patient-driven questions in collaboration with Vanderbilt, Penn State, and Brown universities. CSF is also driving surgical treatments by being a patient partner organization on a $2.8 million randomized control trial. This multi-centered study spans 42 major medical institutions across the United States to finally provide an answer to the question of which type of surgical procedure works best for children with Chiari and syringomyelia. And CSF is standardizing research language for Chiari and syringomyelia researchers, in which we worked for over 2 years to develop common data elements, or CDEs, with the National Institutes of Health. CDEs are an inclusive international language to improve the diagnosis and treatment of Chiari and syringomyelia. And finally, as Dorothy mentioned, we've completed our Children's Handicap Accessible Golf Cart project with Georgia Tech University, which enables children with disabilities to enjoy the game of golf. We've also received word for that project from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office that our design will receive a patent. And you recently heard from Dorothy about this new project, which is the second phase of providing handicap-accessible golf carts for people, particularly children, and for people like myself who love to play golf and don't have the opportunity to do so. As I mentioned earlier, none of this would be possible without your continued support. Thank you for being here, CSF. Enjoy the weekend, enjoy golf tomorrow, and hit them straight.